Hello students, welcome to Affairs Cloud. My name is Vikas. So friends, we have an application by the name Careers Cloud which you can go and download through the Play Store. And once you have downloaded, you can log in with your Gmail ID. And why I am suggesting you this application, because this is the one-stop solution for all the current affairs. This is the best of the best application and the platform where you can enhance your learning through help. Here you will be provided with multiple courses. Here you will be provided with multiple options of quizzes, and even you will be provided current affairs on daily basis. PDFs and quizzes will be provided to you on daily basis, both in Hindi as well as English. Here you will be provided current affairs with weekly basis and monthly basis also. Here remember, once you have done watching our video, then you can log in through this application, take out the PDF, read that PDF and go through the quizzes. That will enhance your preparation. Same you have to do for weekly and same you have to do for the monthly also. In monthly you will be provided with the top 100 important questions PDF and video also, that will enhance your learning, and it will be a very beneficial and important video for the revision perspective. And not just this friends, apart from this we also provide you banking and economic questions. We provide you state current affairs such as of Uttarakhand, UP, Tripura, Telangana, and many more. Not just this, apart from this we also provide you topic wise current affairs, and the topics that we are providing you are really important. These topics are such as national affairs, international affairs, important days, sports, defense, science and technology, apps and web portals, obituary. These are the important topics that are being asked in various exams across India. So these are the topics that are must and should be covered and will be beneficial for the preparation of the students. So such friends, I'll highly suggest you to watch our video as they will be very beneficial for you in the long.
Hello everyone, I hope you are all good. So students, in this video we will be discussing important current affairs of 1st of April. The session will be very important, so stay tuned till the end. Also friends, do watch our topic wise video. Those are important videos and that will be helping you in your preparation. So let's start. First we are discussing national affairs. Recently, Ministry of Defence has recently signed a contract worth 19,600 crore rupees to acquire NGOPV. What is this NGOPV? That is your next generation offshore patrol vessels. All right, 11 new generation or next generation offshore patrol vessels will be procured, and apart from this 6 next generation missile vessels, that is NGMVs. These are your missile vessels. So 11 next generation offshore patrol vessels and 6 next generation missile vessels will be procured under this. All right, and remember they will be procured at an overall cost of around 19,600 crore rupees for Indian Army to boost Atmanirbhar in defense sector. Right, I repeat, recently Ministry of Defense signed a contract that is worth 19,600 crore rupees. Under this, 11 next generation offshore patrol vessels will be procured, and here 6 next generation missile vessels will be procured for Indian Army. If we talk about next generation offshore patrol vessel, they will be signed or they have been signed this agreement for these 11 offshore patrol vessels with Goa Shipyards Limited. Let me write here, with Goa Shipyards Limited and as well as your Garden Reach Shipbuilders and Engineers Limited for a total cost of 9,781 crore rupees. Right, mark this. Question can be asked that 11 new next generation offshore patrol vessels will be delivered by whom? They will be delivered by Goa Shipyard Limited and Garden Reach Shipbuilders and Engineers Limited. Right? Then apart from this, remember Ministry of Defense also signed a contract for procurement of improved Akash weapon system and 12 weapon locating radars WLR Sarthi for Indian Army at an overall cost of 9,100 crore rupees. So these are some equipments that have been procured by Ministry of Defense recently. Next is Kangra tea. Kangra tea belongs to which state? And why we are talking about Kangra tea? Because recently Kangra tea has got their European GI tag, that is your geographical indication tag. So remember, this tea is from Himachal Pradesh. Alright, Himachal Pradesh Kangra tea got a EU geographical tag, and this will offer opportunity for the Kangra tea to enter the European market. With this tag, of EU GI tag, this Kangra tea will be now have access of European market. Correct? Then remember, the Kangra tea received their first Indian GI tag in 2005, and now they have got their EU GI tag, that is European GI tag. This GI tag provides assurance of quality and distinctiveness. This is essential for attributes to place it of its origin, and also once a product got their GI tag, any person or company cannot sell a similar item under that particular name, and this tag is valid for a period of 10 years. That is your GI tag, following which it can be renewed again. Next, here you can see it is your Himachal Pradesh from where we get this Kangra tea, and they have got recently their European GI tag. Moving on, who inaugurated the development work in Uttarakhand and Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel Memorial in Karnataka? Directly remember, this was inaugurated by whom? Amit Shah. Right? Amit Shah is our Home Minister. He inaugurated the development work in UK, that is your Uttarakhand, and Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel Memorial, that is in Karnataka. Right? Mark this. Here you can see Amit Shah, he inaugurated it. And if we talk about this only, that he was on a visit to Uttarakhand to inaugurate the development works, that is computerization of UK's multi-purpose primary agriculture, credit cooperative societies, joint cooperative farming, Jan Subhida Kendras and Janaushadhi Kendras in Haridwar, UK. Then Home Minister Amit Shah also unveiled the statue of Lord Basaveshwara ji and Nada Prabhu Kem Govda ji at the State Assembly premises in Bangalore, Karnataka. He has also inaugurated the Goratra Martyr Memorial and Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel Memorial, and also unfurled a 103 feet high tricolor at Goratra ground in Bidar, Karnataka. So these are some of the things that were inaugurated by Amit Shah recently. Moving on, next news is regarding Lok Sabha. Lok Sabha has amended the Competition Act of 2002, where CCI to penalize the tech MNCs for global revenue. I repeat, recently Lok Sabha, the lower house of the parliament, they have approved the amendment of the Competition Act of 2002 that seeks to cover global deals by digital multinational companies under local laws, and now there will be an amendment in this, and they will be penalizing the tech MNCs for the same if any mishappening is there. So the competition bill of 2022 was after Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman moved as many as 13 official amendments to the bill. Right? The following this amendment, CCI will now have the power to impose penalties on MNCs for violations based on their international revenue, and the Competition Amendment Bill of 2022 aims to regulate transactions made by international digital companies, provided that the entities involved have a strong business presence in India. And the amendments also provide for the settlement of minor violations. Moving on. Next is Dash has removed which country from the list of high risk third countries jurisdiction? That is not EU. European Union have removed which country from the list of the high risk third countries jurisdiction? It is your Pakistan. Right? European Commission of the European Union has removed Pakistan from the list of high risk third country jurisdictions. This move is expected to improve the condition of business activities in Pakistan, and we know the economic condition that is going on in Pakistan. There is high inflation, and we are seeing that the inflation is in, like if we talk about food prices, there have increased in by 2 to 3 times there. Like if we talk about onion, we can see that they are now trading at around 230 to 240 rupees. Wheat is being traded at the same level. all other commodities, all other goods are also. So on an average, we can say we in Pakistan there is an inflation between 50 to 100%. That is a very high inflation. All right. So correct option is Pakistan has been removed from the list of high risk third countries jurisdiction. Moving on. If we one more thing, what are these third countries jurisdiction? All right, high risk third country. According to European Union only, the high risk third country include the list of those countries that do not have a robust enough regulatory and a legal system that will provide any financial crime or terrorism there. So those are your third risk countries, and for them the rules and the funding rules are also different. So if a country has been removed from this particular list, that means this country can now avail various funding options from the European Union. All right, and it is similar to that one if we talk about of FATF, Financial Action Task Force. They release a list, that is your gray list. What is this gray list? Also, if a country is put into the gray list, that means the IMF, World Bank, they won't be financing the countries that are put into the gray list, because those countries that are in the gray list, basically they are in this list because they do terror financing. All right, and so for the same reason these organizations won't be funding the same. So remember, recently Pakistan has been removed from this third country's jurisdiction risk list. Next, international news. Here you can see that it is Pakistan that has been removed. Moving on. Next, banking and finance. SEBI board meeting, significant takeaways from 16 major decisions. So if we talk about some of the important decision takeaways that has released, so if we talk about the same, SEBI took a number of decision at its board's meeting on 29th of March with the goal of protecting investors' interest and bolstering the market infrastructure to handle disruptions. The 16 major decisions and their implications include: first, the balanced framework for ESG disclosure ratings and investing. What is ESG? Environment, social, and governance. And we know now in today's generation, most of the companies will be investing in this particular ESG area. Why? Because we have to save our environment, and for the same, to work towards sustainable development goals also. This is an important area where we will be seeing high investment. Then establishing a regulatory framework for environmental, social, and governance rating providers in securities market by introducing a new chapter in SEBI regulations of 1999. ASBA like facility for trading secondary market options to option to investors. Then upstreaming of clients fund by stockbrokers, clearing members to clearing corporations to mitigate risk on the intermediaries. Right, these are some important that you should know. If we talk about SEBI's chairperson is Madhabi Puri Burke. Where is the headquarter? Mumbai, Maharashtra. When was that established? In 1992. All right, for further rest of them you can refer to a PDF where you will be getting all the important points for the same. Next, Aditya Birla Health Insurance. They have entered into a bancassurance partnership with which bank? What is a bancassurance partnership? When a bank partners with an insurance company, and here this insurance company will be selling their services or products, that is our various insurance product, to the customers of bank. So recently it is your Aditya Birla Health Insurance that has entered into a bancassurance partnership with whom? With UCO Bank. Right, important. Then here this partnership will enable Aditya Birla Health Insurance to utilize the UCO Bank's widely distributed network of around 3,164 branches, and basically to reach out more than 40 million customers of the bank across India. If we talk about UCO Bank, who is the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer? Soma Sarkara Prasad. Headquarters is in Kolkata, West Bengal. Moving on, Aditya Birla Health Insurance entered into a bancassurance partnership with UCO Bank. Moving on, to which Next is which organization joined hands for digital lending platform for MSMEs? That is, which two organizations joined hand for digital lending platform for MSME? They basically to lend money to MSME sector. Which two organization came together? Ambit Finvest and Scale Up. I repeat, Ambit Finvest and Scale Up, these two organizations have joined hands to provide digital lending platform for various MSMEs. So here we can say that Ambit Finvest, they have partnered with Scale Up, that is a digital technology service provider, that is an arm of Bajaj Finserv. All right, and basically they will be developing a D2C. What is D2C? Direct to consumer or customer. There is a term that is B2B. B2B is your business to business. All right, and D2C is your direct to customer. So basically they will be developing this D2C customer application where which will be providing business loans to MSME. All right, business loans to MSME will be provided through this D2C application that will be developed by a joint venture between Ambit Finvest and Scale Up. The platform will oversee a wide variety of processes and services that will be offered by Ambit Finvest along with multiple products. This is capable of handling complex workflows that involve sales, underwriting, and operations. All right. If we talk about Ambivest Finvest, who is the CEO here? Sanjay Agarwal. Headquarters is in Mumbai, Maharashtra. Moving on. Here you can see Ambit Finvest partnered with Scale Up, that is a arm of Bajaj Finserv, to develop a D2C instant loan application to give business loans to MSMEs businesses through owners through a completely paperless and automated digital onboarding processes. Next is AMNS Luxembourg Holding has signed a 5 billion US dollar loan agreement with consortium of Japanese bank. I repeat, AMNS Luxembourg Holding, the parent company of Accelerator Mittal Nippon Steel India Limited, has entered into a $5 billion agreement with a consortium of Japanese bank. The bank that makes up the Japanese banking consortium are JBIC, MUFG Bank Limited, Sumitomo Mitsui Bank Corporation, Sumitomo Mitsui Trust Bank Limited, Mizo Bank Limited, and Mizuho Bank and Bank Europe NV. So just remember in this particular news that it is your AMNS Luxembourg Holding, that is the parent company of Accelerator Mittal Steel India Limited. They have entered into a $5 billion JBIC co-financing loan agreement with the consortium of Japanese banks. Next is Godrej Capital. Godrej Capital and SBI has signed an MOU to offer banking products and services. I repeat, Godrej Capital Limited, the financial service arm of the Godrej Group, and SBI, they have entered into they have signed an MOU to strengthen their partnership where the bank would provide various financial products and offerings. Godrej Capital and SBI will work together to increase the affordability and accessibility of financial products, unlocking opportunities for financial inclusion. SBI aims to capitalize on synergies that will empower its customers and accelerate the growth of its economy, and SBI will also focus on delivering financial solutions to the Godrej Group. Next is your Axis Bank. Axis Bank has partnered with Shriram Housing Finance for co-lending. I repeat, Axis Bank, that is the third largest private sector bank in India, and Shriram Housing Finance Limited, they have entered into a partnership under the co-lending model through a UB co-lend platform. Through this partnership, the lenders will each provide secured home loans and MSE loans to borrowers in the middle and low income segments based in rural and semi-urban areas. This collaboration will make use of the technological platform UB to efficiently process loans according to the co-lending guidelines. Alright, so it is your Axis Bank that has partnered with Shriram Housing Finance Limited for co-lending, and that will be through UB Coland platform. Next is Ministry of Commerce and Industry. They have released Foreign Trade Policy 2023, and in this foreign trade policy, they stated that aim of India is for achieving $2 trillion in exports by 2030. Very important. Remember, by 2030, India is targeting to increase their exports to $2 trillion. All right, very important friends. Remember, it is your Ministry of Commerce and Industry. They have released this Foreign Trade Policy 2023, and in this they stated the aim here of the government of India is to export $2 trillion by 2030. Right? Next, who became the first Jammu and Kashmiri women to receive Wildlife Conservation Award? And this is an important award, so do take a note. She is Alia Mir. Alia Mir, a wildlife conservationist, working for India-based charity Wildlife SOS, and she has been honored with the Wildlife Conservation Award for 2023 by the administration of Jammu and Kashmir for her conservation efforts in the particular region. And she became the first woman from Jammu and Kashmir to receive the Wildlife Conservation Award. The award carried a cash prize of 25,000 rupees and a memento. She received the award from Manoj Sinha. Question can also be asked that to Alia Mir, who gave or who presented the award, that is Wildlife Conservation Award. So he will be Manoj Sinha, the governor of Jammu and Kashmir, or not the governor, lieutenant governor, because Jammu and Kashmir is a union territory. All right, this Wildlife Conservation Award was presented to her on 21st of March. Reason being, on 21st of March, we observe International Day of Forest. All right, International Day of Forest is observed on 21st of March. So that is, you should know. If we talk about Alia Mir, she has been associated with Wildlife SOS since 2002, and she have been doing various voluntary work, and also then she became the first wildlife rescuer also. She is primarily recognized for her work with snakes, despite having rescued various Asiatic black bears, Himalayan brown bears, birds, leopards, etc. And you can see here she is associated with snakes especially. All right, Alia Mir. Next, appointments and resignation. UAE president has named Sheikh Khalid as Crown Prince of Abu Dhabi. Direct question here, you need to remember that UAE president has named Sheikh Khalid as the Crown Prince of Abu Dhabi. Next, Tata Power reappointed Praveer Sinha as the CEO and Managing Director for 4 years. I repeat, Tata Power Company Limited, that is one of the India's oldest and largest integrated power utilities, reappointed Praveer Sinha as the Chief Executive Officer and Managing Director for 4 years with effect from 1st of May 2023. Important. His current tenure as a CEO and MD of Tata Power will conclude on 30th of April 2023. Right? So, who has been reappointed as the CEO and MD for 4 years for Tata Power? He will be Praveer Sinha. Next, Rajiv K. Mishra has taken over the charge of Chairman and Managing Director of PTC India. I repeat, Dr. Rajiv K. Mishra, a power market veteran and diverse experience in the sector, has taken over the Chairman and Managing Director of PTC India Limited. PTC India Limited, it is the leading provider of power trading solutions in India with an immediate effect. Correct. So, who will be the new Chairman and Managing Director of PTC India? Dr. Rajiv K. Mishra. Next, we are talking about environment. Scientists of Indian Council of Agriculture Research have recently discovered a moray eelfish of the genus Gymnothorax that collected from the landings at Madhusuladai Fish Landing Center, that is in Tamil Nadu. Just remember, recently ICR has discovered a moray eelfish, alright, and it has been discovered in the Cuddalore coast of, and it has been named after Tamil Nadu, and it has been named as Gymnothorax tamilnadensis. All right, I repeat, what is the name of the new moray L species discovered in Tamil Nadu? And it has been named as Gymnothorax tamilnadensis. Right? Next, when do we observe International Transgender Day of Visibility? This day is observed on 31st of March. I repeat, Transgender International Transgender Day of Visibility is observed on 31st of March, and it is observed to create basically awareness of the work that still needs to be done to eliminate the discrimination and other barriers to inclusion with all aspects of society. All right. Next, these were your important current affairs for the day, friend. Now let's go for a quick revision. Ministry of Defense signed a contract worth 19,600 crore rupees to acquire NGOPVs and NGMVs for Indian Navy, and another contract to improve the AWS and 20 WLR Swathi for Indian Army. Himachal Pradesh Kangra tea got the European GI tag. Home Minister Amit Shah inaugurated development works in Uttarakhand and Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel Memorial in Bidar, Karnataka. Lok Sabha amended the Competition Act of 2002 and CCI to penalize the tech MNCs for global revenue. EU removes Pakistan from the list of high-risk third country jurisdiction. SEBI board meeting, significant takeaways, 16 major decisions you can read from PDF. Aditya Birla Health Insurance entered into a bancassurance partnership with UCO Bank. Ambit Finvest scale up, they have joined hands for digital lending platform for MSMEs. AMNS Luxembourg Holdings signed a $5 billion loan agreement with consortium of Japanese bank. Next, Godrej Capital and SBI has signed an MOU to offer banking products and services. Axis Bank has partnered with Shriram Housing Finance for co-lending. Ministry of CI&I released FTP 2023, that is, India aims for increasing the export to $2 trillion by 2023. Then Alia Mir became the first Jammu and Kashmir woman that received the Wildlife Conservation Award. UAE President named Sheikh Khalid as the Crown Prince of Abu Dhabi. Tata Power reappointed as the Praveer Sinha, or Tata Power has reappointed Praveer Sinha as the CEO and MD for 4 years. Rajiv K. Mishra taken over the charge of Chairman and Managing Director of PTC India. Scientist of ICAR has discovered new moray L species in Tamil Nadu, and it has been named after the Tamil Nadu only, that is Gymnothorax tamilnadensis. Then International Transgender Day of Visibility is observed on 31st of March. So these were your important current affairs for the day. Now it's time for your revision. First, United Nations first International Day of Zero Waste is observed on 31st of March. This was the inaugural edition. Next, SpiceJet's chairman and managing director Ajay Singh taken over as the president of ASSOCHAM. Hamza Yusuf, he is a Pakistan, and remember, he's from Pakistan and he was born in Scotland only, but he's the first Muslim leader of Scotland. Remember that. All right, Scotland's first minister, that is Scotland's first Muslim leader, he will be Hamza Yusuf. Next, NTPC and Ceylon Electricity Board, they have jointly agreed to build solar power plant in Sri Lanka. Next, WHO has certified Azerbaijan and Tajikistan as malaria-free countries. Important, these two countries are important. Do note down the name, that is Azerbaijan and Tajikistan. They have been certified as the countries malaria-free by WHO. Then Art and Capital's Passport Index was released for 2023. Here India ranked 144 with mobility score of 70, and UAE ranked first in this Art and Capital Passport Index 2023. Next, Ministry of Electronics, Information and Technology has approved setting up of electronics manufacturing cluster at Dharwad in Karnataka. All right, and this is expected to generate over 18,000 jobs in the region. So, electric manufacturing cluster or electronics manufacturing cluster will be setting up in Karnataka. So these were your revision, friends. Now it's time for your homework. Which city is the host of the second edition of the Africa India Field Training Exercise FINDEX 2023? Next, New India Literacy Program will be implemented as which type of scheme? Third, which state or union territory released the Lake Development Program? So these are your 3 homework questions, friends. I hope you have understood the assignment. All you have to do now is like the video and comment below and let us know what are your views for the same. If you want us to continue with more such sessions, then I want to see maximum like and comment in this video, as this will motivate me personally to make better content for you on the regular basis. So that's all for the day. Vikas signing off.
That's all for the day, friends. I hope you enjoyed the session, and you can follow us on the YouTube channel, as well as apart from YouTube channel, you can go and follow us at Affairs Cloud Telegram channel. And if you have any queries related to the content or the of courses offered to you or the payment which you did on the application, you can contact us on the number provided, that is 7677333862. Apart from this, friends, you can follow us on the Facebook as well as on Instagram handle, that is affairscloud_official. In the end, friends, if you use a code that is Vikas10, you will be getting an additional extra 10% discount by using this code Vikas10. Also, if you have any problem regarding the course purchase, any problem regarding to our application, you can contact us on the mobile number, that is 9677333862. And if you want to mail us, you can also mail us on support@affairscloud.com, and I assure you that our representative from us will be contacting you soon and resolving your issue.